welcome to the lobby, GameSpot's weekly hangout every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on GameSpot.com. And today's show, Kevin Van Ord.
Whoa.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey.
You're here to talk to us about Dark Souls 2. We've also got Jeff Gerstmann from GiantBomb.com on later to talk about Titanfall. We're going to play Crawl, which is some 4-player crazy winner stays on dungeon crawling action plus Maxwell McBargains. We've got a new release with Mary Kish, Justin Haywald on as well for some. Exactly, thank you, Mary. You weren't mic'd up, but you did go at Kevin, not me. We've got Justin Haywald with news. Plus, Arsenal are playing at the moment, so if anyone can tell me in the chat if we're winning, that I'd really appreciate it because the Champions League is on. And fun for everyone here is that the fire alarm apparently can go off at any moment on today's show.
Also, Chris Waters is here. Thanks a lot, O'Dwyer.
You weren't here last week, and I didn't notice.
Hi. I'm here.
You're back from reviewing Titanfall, the video game.
Yeah, I am. That was a lot of Titanfall.
Have you played enough Titanfall over the weekend? See, now I'm ignoring Kevin.
I need to play more.
So,
it's not ignoring if you've already acknowledged him.
That's true.
Yeah. At first I thought you were going to do like the and Chris Waters at the end, like the credits.
I was getting to it.
But you got Arsenal in there, and like, I was...
These intros are really long, Chris.
It's really rough.
I have to make sure everyone knows about all the content that's coming up over the next hour.
Well, I think they do.
It's like the special thing, right? When you watch a movie,
That's
the
what I'm
very
talking about.
end, the
Yeah.
guest star.
Yeah.
Or like the Love Boat episode where the most important person's at the end. And featuring Chris
Kevin
Waters.
Van Ord. All right, we're going to talk about Titanfall a little bit later. Kevin Van Ord, you were here last week to show us Dark Souls 2.
I was, and I could only show stuff from the first hour of the game.
It was great. We got to ask you super vague questions that you could not respond to.
Yeah, totally. I can now hopefully respond to more. Although, I want to be careful. I don't want to be too spoilery.
Okay.
But I do want to give this warning. Dark Souls is all about discovery, right? And so you are going to be seeing something that's later in the game. I chose something specifically that's rather Dark Soulsy, so it doesn't come across as like too, oh my god, I can't believe I'm seeing that. But
so,
for what it's worth, if if you're kind of sensitive about this stuff.
Stop pushing our viewers away, man.
Stay
Yes.
and watch.
Video games. Dark Souls 2. What's going on here?
So this
Just hanging out by a fire.
Outside, this is a bonfire.
Making
I'm standing
some s'mores.
outside Aldia's Keep. Now this is the PlayStation 3 version. This is also a debug version, so I'm not online, but I wanted to go in here at this later time.
Cool.
To show off, so I won't have online functionality, but I did kind of want to see. So here we go into
Why are you glowing?
Keep.
Yeah, what's your kit about? It's
I'm
cool.
glowing because I have, I'll show people my setup if they want to see. So I've got some rings on that make me glow. The ring of binding, I've got bling on. This limits my HP reduction when hollow. So every time you die, you go a little bit more hollow. You lose maximum health, and that limits that. Ring of blades, which is for attack. This is the glow, the ring of restoration, and this this gradually restores my HP, and then I'm protected from physical attacks.
How many rings can you wear? Because it really
4.
irritates me in Skyrim that I can wear like one ring. I've got like 10 fingers. Like why can't I wear all of these buffs all the time?
It's only made for your left thumb.
4 rings.
All the craftsmen in the
4
land
rings.
can only manage one
It's
finger.
actually a Prince Albert
Now,
ring.
I never figured out what's actually in these wagons that makes them go like that.
What?
It's
It just,
either something
like, shakes?
awful or there's like a couple doing it in there.
Okay.
So
Yeah, well, given the choice between something terrible and awful and people
doing
joined in an intimate congress,
I'm going with
an
the
act
thing
of
that's
love.
awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
I would
definitely.
assume that it's
Or
something
maybe
awful.
it's two awful things boning. And they're made of bones, and one of them doesn't have a
this
head.
makes sense that they would be
and-
mose of bones because we are walking into this place.
That's
with
pretty
this,
cool.
Oh, wow.
Awesome skeleton.
Oh no!
Oh, hi.
It's a poison frog. It's the those
Well,
things.
it looks like a cursed frog,
Yeah.
but actually he's a petrify frog now.
Oh man.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Dark Souls 2, everybody, reinventing the wheel. Just kidding.
It's one of the few, like, it is one of those things. So you come in here, and first time this happened to me,
That's kinda freaky.
totally freaked out.
That
that's
thing just
great.
busted out of the mirror. Ooh.
Luckily, my fire bastard sword will help me out.
Pretty strong.
It's the family show, Kevin Van Ord. If you have any questions for Kevin, by the way, about Dark Souls 2, please send us in a tweet or comment on the GameSpot page or in the Twitch chat. I also want to remind folks, or tell folks, we're going to show them off in just a little bit after Kevin's done playing this video game. We got a bunch of copies of Dark Souls 2 to give away on both Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Incredibly awesome versions. The Black Armor Edition and the Collector's Edition. So stay tuned for some information on how to win those real soon.
Oh yeah, these are the like steel case ones.
Yeah.
They look real cool.
Yeah, they mail better as well. That's why we got them. So Kevin.
Yes.
Dark Souls 2. This is looking very familiar to another game that was called Dark Souls. Didn't have 2. Can you just give me sort of a brief summary of how you think this game is better or worse than the previous one?
Well, there are some subtle additions that really make a big difference. Some of that's... The game is a lot more about exploration. It's rather large. It's much bigger than Dark Souls. And it has some changes designed to get you out there. So for example, if you've spawned in an area long enough, monsters will stop respawning. But not necessarily all monsters, and they don't suddenly start doing it all at once. But they will get phased out over time. So there are fewer monsters through here than when I first came through.
So you're not repeatedly facing the full strength, repeated enemy deployments that you would in Dark Souls.
Now at first, I didn't know if I was really much of a fan of that.
This is a giant frog!
I just love how there seems to be no rhyme or reason to the creature design in this game. It's just like, yeah, sure, got this frog, we're gonna make his eyes as big as massive testicles on his face. Done.
Or
Ship it.
They're eyeballs, Danny.
Are they?
Not all spheres are testicles.
Are they?
Well, I don't know, actually. I haven't played the game.
Have you asked From Software?
But worth noting, Kevin, you gave it a 9 out of 10.
I did. I think it's awesome.
Fantastic game, yes. So, like, not a lesser, or
No.
is it like, so for people who are like so into Souls games, they're gonna love it.
I don't know,
Yeah?
like I'm back and forth. Somebody asked me on Twitter how I would rank the Souls games between Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and Dark Souls 2. I don't know, like sometimes my feelings on that changes by the day. I think it's hard to top Dark Souls. Oh my god, it's really dark.
It's right there in the name.
It's called Dark Souls.
This TV is like suddenly, it was not like this before. What has happened?
It's almost like you've never played a game on the show before.
I know, I came in earlier to make sure, and now suddenly it's like...
You can do it, I believe in you. Cast a light spell. I've got a question here. Bob Jones 1980 asks,
Vandalism.
Does Dark Souls 2 integrate with any of the save games from the first game? Is there any sort of...
Not that I'm aware of. There could be something, if there is, it's subtle. I haven't noticed anything starting in on retail from my save game.
Who's this dude?
This is...
You've killed so many of them, you can't even tell
I don't
what
remember
they
the
are
names
anymore.
of the enemies. I really only know the names of the bosses, really.
Yeah, I mean, because the enemies' names don't really display.
No, they don't
just like,
display.
oh, it was that horrible robed thing. Oh yeah, it's a curse frog because it curses you.
Well, that's what I always called them in Dark Souls, was
Yeah.
a curse frog. Now they're petrify frogs, like I said. You gotta stay out of the smoke.
How long did it take you to complete the game?
80 hours?
And was that because was that a review completion where you wanted to make sure you saw everything, or was that kind of...
Oh, there you go. You wanted death? You got death.
You
Well,
died.
that dude barely even touched you. Oh wait, it's Dark
One
Souls.
swipe of its tail, and I was down. I usually go through a door over on the right, and I forgot, because I'm not very good at playing games and talking at the same time.
You're doing all right.
So-
Until, honestly,
we
if
get
you
you
were
on the
playing
show.
Dark Souls 2 and you didn't perish,
That would be sort of disappointing,
yeah,
right?
I would be like, no one likes a show off, Kevin. Come on.
Were you?
I mean, I do like a show
Were you
off.
dying as much as you were in the first game? Is this still?
Oh
as
yeah, I
difficult, or-
think I died maybe not quite as much. Well, maybe as much because it's bigger. There are more chances, like there's more geography to cover. So maybe, but I think that individual bosses in Dark Souls were probably a little harder than individual bosses in Dark Souls 2.
Last week as well, you showed us one of the areas that was sort of didn't look like the quintessential Dark Souls 1 environment, where it was quite bright and gorgeous.
Right.
You also put up an article with a bunch of screenshots from the game, just kind of looking through.
It's not up yet, but it will be
okay.
going up tomorrow.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Do you think the environments in this game is there much of a difference in terms of the scale or in terms of the aesthetic?
I think there's a, it still has the same aesthetic, clearly. It's still Dark Souls, as it were, and so it still goes for the same, but I'd say that the diversity is much greater. There's a lot, you still go through forests and castles and things like that, but I would say in general, you see a lot more diversity in terms of the geography, in terms of the art style, sort of in terms of the color palette. There's a lot of stuff. Now, I really want to get my souls back because I had...
You can do
I
it.
was close to like 18,000 souls or something, right?
Pretty decent
Something
amount of
like
souls.
that. Not bad. I mean, but by the time... Because this character is level 141, 142.
Seems large.
So it's big. So at this point, it doesn't really. But this is where I meant to go in before.
Cara Bear on Twitter asks, would you say that the max HP loss at deaths is a good addition, or not so much? Does it make it unnecessarily harder?
No, I think that there were tweaks to sort of how it deals with difficulty.
Yeah.
Like, there's less of that grindy feel because you don't have to necessarily fight every single enemy each time you go through an area. But on the other hand, there are certain tweaks like I'll see if I can do this. If I run out of stamina, I'll run out of stamina now, and then oops, too late. But if you run out of stamina and you get hit, you get knocked back for a short while.
Stagger.
Yeah, there's a stagger there, and okay, now that is something different. But luckily I have some pyromancy, so that is actually some acid.
Throw some Molotovs at it.
I'm a pyromancer.
Oh, Dark Souls, gotcha.
So
yeah.
I can take care of him, but that's pretty nasty stuff there, the acid stuff, because it'll degrade your weapons, and some of the rings are pretty prone to breaking. So it's best to stay out of that stuff, because now stuff breaks down, but as long as it doesn't break down fully before you rest at a bonfire, it just refreshes at the bonfire.
Oh, okay.
Now this is
the thing that killed you in like one hit.
Yeah, that's a pretty big thing. You want to get out of there, maybe, Kevin?
Ooh, nasty.
I don't know.
And he'll also roll over on me, and there's a lot of physics-enabled junk all around me.
Does it work well?
No.
Does the combat system with all the?
I feel like you're in a real tight spot.
Oh, you're
I'm done.
You're gonna
He's
get
gonna
murdered hard.
He
eats me, and I'm done.
Oh my god! Oh, that was good.
Now you did see at the end there's a bleeding effect.
Yeah.
So the bleeding effect, if it succeeds, it lowers your maximum stamina for a time. But luckily, it's only a temporary effect.
I have a question about Dark Souls 2, Kevin, because I played a bunch of Dark Souls, but I didn't get very far. And I was trying to play this like class where I was like nimble and would roll and like try to backstab people a lot. But then people who got really far in that game seemed like a lot of them be playing like pyromancers or something like that. So like using magic was something I didn't quite do. So like when you choose your class from the get-go here, is it better to choose a certain class or two? Like, are you making it harder for yourself if you choose the knight or the the bandit or whatever?
In the past, mages and magic were considered sort of like easy mode in Dark Souls, and I think that's still true to a small extent. I do think that when you have ranged stuff, that can help. But I've actually found that things that I did in Dark Souls to kind of ease my way don't work as much here. Oh. Sometimes that's because there's certain enemies that are just really fast. They close in so fast that, once you get their attention, you're screwed. Sometimes you're in small spaces and it's not going to really help. But I think archery is a lot more fun now. There are fewer chances to sort of cheese large enemies from a distance by just pelting them with 7,000 arrows until they die. But there are great opportunities now to use archery. You can zoom in, you can aim with a crossbow, which you couldn't do before. So I think that archery is now a viable option.
So if it's better and viable, does that still mean it's good?
We actually have a question here on the screen from Erebuster on Twitter asks, what class do you recommend to start with in Dark Souls 2? So if you were just starting off, maybe first time.
I think I am playing as a knight, and you start at like level 13 automatically or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Check when you load it up, make sure, because I might be confusing knight with warrior, but I think that's a great place to start. And keep in mind that, the class that you choose only really changes like what you start as and a few additional things like what items you have and equipment you have. But you can level up as you choose. You can do pretty much anything.
Awesome.
So it's not as though I started with pyromancy.
Kevin, thank you very much for coming on and showing us Dark Souls 2. Your review is up on the side, of course. Everyone go read that now. We have to give away a bunch of these video games too. Look at all these things. Go pick them up. Oh, they're so heavy. Oh, drop the laptop. It's all going wrong. Look how heavy this thing is. I'm going to break the box by accident on purpose. Dark Souls 2, Ultimate Ridiculous Edition right here. We've also got Chris Waters, what do you have?
I got a Black Armor Edition for the Xbox 360 and for the PS3, and we've got 3 each of these, I believe.
We have 3 on both, and then we have a collector's edition each as well. So there's 8 to give away in total. If you want to win one of those, the GameSpot Twitter account put out a tweet about, I don't know, at 10 past the hour. If you go follow GameSpot, you have to make sure you're following us and RT that, then you have a chance to win one of those. You have to make sure you're following us so we can get in contact over what version you'd like. We've already given 2 away. B11 McGI11. I believe that's Bill McGill. Thanks for making it super hard to say your thing. And also, The Wibbles. The Wibbles has also won.
The Wibbles.
Congratulations,
I
Wibbles.
think that's actually what was inside of that rumbling cart.
Yeah.
I think there was 2 people wibbling in there. That's what was going on.
And also in just breaking soccer news for all our viewers, Arsenal have tied the game. It's 1-1 at the moment. 2 more goals, and we go through on away goals.
Go you Gunners.
Soccer, video games. We're going to be back with another video game in just a few minutes. But before then, we've got to check out the latest trailer for Dark Souls 2. It's dropped today. Let's check it out.
You will die. That much is certain. Death will define your journey. It will follow you, always close at hand. Your only true companion. And it will change you. You will be something less than human, but more than mortal. You will become dark. And once the darkness has consumed you, your journey may truly begin.
Time loser, headlong to his death. Oh, he's falling down the corridor on his hands and knees. God stole the handle, and the train it won't stop going. No, it could slow down.
Dark Souls 2, and you can win what was that end slate picture with all the video games. Look, we got them all here as well.
Right
you
there.
can win them
Pretty
on
dope.
Twitter. It's that easy. On Twitter, unless Twitter goes down like it did earlier. You know the fire alarm hasn't gone off yet?
I do know, and the reason I know is because I haven't wanted to rend my clothing and hair for being inside this building, because that's the effect the fire alarm has on me. That thing is aggressive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't wait for that to come on. It's going to be
not gonna
great.
happen today.
Peter Brown and Jonathan McGuinness, you have joined us. This is the first time we've had a foursome right here on the lobby. How does it feel?
You always remember your first foursome.
You do. We're going to play Crawl, which is a video game. You guys, it's a video game with Gabe Newell in it. Look,
Yeah.
you can pick him
Yeah.
as your god. Look,
So
on there,
Trim,
see,
Teok,
there
or
he is.
Gaben.
This is a game that just passed greenlight. It is a 4-player winner stays on dungeon crawl game that we played a bit of.
Asynchronous is the term the kids are throwing around.
Is that what it is?
Asynchronous? No, asymmetric.
Asymmetrical, that's the one,
No, it's
asymmetrical.
very synchronous.
Who's
Yeah.
the human?
So sync. That might be me.
Peter's the human.
I'm the brown ghost.
I am the the brown ghost. I think the brown ghost is coming right now, actually.
I am
Oh,
the red
That's a
ghost.
poop joke.
You're always talking about your brown ghost, Danny.
And I am the blue ghost. So basically, the three of us have to try and kill the human.
And I can't leave the room until I kill all the monsters.
Exactly. And the last person who gets the final hit then becomes the human. A la Predator tag from Alien vs. Predator fame. Or not.
I'm coming for you, dude with the sword. Oh, come on. I'm just a spider.
What, did you have a backswing?
Some bull. That's some bull ass.
So the ghosts,
going-
we can like inhabit those little
Get out of my-
pentagrams on the floor. You inhabit one of those, you become a critter. there are also going to be traps that we can inhabit, like that will shoot flames and stuff. That are also fun.
Indeed, we haven't hit any of those yet.
Have died.
There's more pentagrams. Keep doing it. This guy's got range. This bat dude. And then the other thing about it is that.
Oh wait, yeah, he does.
Come on, we gotta pelt him from afar, guys.
Oh,
Don't let him
keep
close in
hitting.
on you. His
Here we go.
weakness is distance.
Final hit. Someone get the
and
final
motions.
oh yeah. Oh, I thought I had you.
Get dead.
Yeah.
Oh, eat
Dead.
it.
Oh, I'm a
Right.
dude. I'm a dude.
No, are you
Eat
gonna
it.
forget
Eat
our
it. Eat it.
alliance
Eat it.
already?
Eat it. Oh yeah.
We were friends not but 30 seconds ago.
I gotta leave all my ghost friends behind, man.
Oh, come on.
I'm moving on up.
This whole game is about forgetting your friends.
Forgetting your ghost friends, leaving the ghosts in their past.
Is there any points of whacking boxes?
You have to. So we got some objects in this room. You're whoever's in
Can
control
I
of
read
that.
a book?
I'm gonna fire balls of fire at
What's
you.
the point of being in here?
That's actually me, Dave.
Oh,
So,
is it? All right.
are the enemies in
Oh,
the
yeah,
game
see you later.
always player controlled? Do you run into NPC enemies?
I haven't
No.
yet. I think there's a boss at the end, which is what. You,
But even those people control the boss.
Oh really?
What's up,
Yeah.
big guy?
So for killing the last hero, you get a bunch of gold for it as well. And then the other thing is this is
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like
Give me
binding
that
up,
gold.
Binding of Isaac style, whereas at the end of there's a finish to this level,
Oh, I have to pick up the gold.
and then you get to level up your monsters. So the next time you land in the pentagram, your monsters are even better, because also the human levels too.
Oh, I'm a tiny little
God damn it.
homunculus.
No, but what are you in the game?
Oh, sick burn. Sick burn.
Mary Kish played this over the weekend. She completed it and said it took about an hour. I'm
But
gonna
it's
leave
also
some
like,
webs.
oh no,
This is early access though.
this is really early access. Still very, like there's gonna be a lot more
He
going
was
down
trying to
here.
think
Am
of
I
another
poisoned?
word for early. And
Yeah.
Premature.
Beta?
Premature is what
Beta?
you're thinking
Nope.
of.
Come here.
Come on.
Let's do battle.
Oh, you think you can chase me? I'm a nimble little homunculus. Oh, you killed me.
Flat.
Level 4. Yeah, this game passed
Health up, yeah.
green light just recently, and
So-
those dudes were very cool and sent us this early code.
So, are you always guaranteed to make it to the end of the game? Because once you die, you just swap in a new player, or is
Yeah, I
there like a
guess.
shared pool of lives or something like that?
I think maybe
No, you can get to the
it's
end
the
of the
first
game.
of those.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's always guaranteed. It's just musical chairs who plays the human along the way.
Exactamundo. Death Ghost
That's high
chairs.
concept.
It's the new Dota.
It's the new Dota.
Go into an area where I can spawn and murder you.
Come on.
There was just like a ton of traps
Go
that I had
to
to
a good
avoid.
area. You're going to some real turd
Lazy
areas.
Yeah.
dummies.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you breaking those boxes for?
Don't you
They're
know
doing
that
anything.
the
Kneel
brown
before this guy again?
You're
Come on.
bleeding really badly.
Yeah, I'm leaving like long trails of blood around this entire place.
Why won't you just let the brown ghost go free?
You can do something with the little like you can summon those blobs. Can't
Yeah,
you?
you can make like duplicate versions of them. It's kind of
Oh yeah.
there's a
Get
lot
in
of
on this
discovery
blob. Where are
going
you
on
going?
in this game.
Even go this
don't
way.
know.
Now
Swear
go to
to
the
God.
left.
Waters.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, and there's some sick doors here.
Oh, what?
Bob Jones.
Oh, I should have hit that thing. I realize now.
Red Hat Draw on GameSpot, videogames.com, asks, where can
What?
this game be purchased?
Oh, I can
it's,
buy some stuff.
It's currently making its way to Steam, so it's past green light, which means that
Advanced dodge roll.
You
they're
can buy it
now
on
working-
steampowered.net.
indeed.
I'm gonna try some magic out. Mary said magic, dodging is better than magic, but I'm really gonna try.
Can't kill you when you're in the
regret that.
store.
Relax.
Hey,
Look,
spend more
I
time
may
in the
regret
store,
it.
Chris.
I may regret
Hey, do you
it,
need
but
to go
our
to like the
audience
options
is-
menu and
There's
adjust
like
the
4
graphics?
asterisk things, and only one of you has summoned in. So quit your yabbing.
Do you need to
Go step
maybe?
directly on that.
Do you want to spend 8 minutes adjusting your y-axis a little bit, or? Yeah, I mean the store's right back there in case you want to go to it.
I'm the blue bat thing. the
Oh,
other thing as
no.
well is that
Why am I
the
always the tiny man?
the creature you spawn as is random too. So you can level
Wanna
up
get
like
worked
one of them.
real bad.
Oh, God.
Who's getting owned by me?
Sitting in the spider web. No.
Yeah.
So
The thing
poison.
about being a tiny man is that you really blend into the scenery.
Nobody
can see the tiny man.
Yes.
gnome.
All of my blood.
I am the human.
Oh no, now he's got new human lives.
Go ahead, come get this
He is a
XP.
tiny
Come get
gnome
this
man.
XP.
Come on, no.
Come and get this XP. I know you
Stop
want it.
surrounding the XP in your
No
your
XP
Get
for
away
you.
spider
from me.
juice. Ah,
I'm just a simple tiny gnome man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the one.
Yeah.
Sick traps.
Hey,
Oh,
Look at this.
you
Look
are
at all
eating
these
it real
traps I'm
bad.
dropping on the
hide
ground.
over here.
Those are cool.
Where's the store? I want to go
Oh,
to the store.
get in on it.
I'm gonna hide in the store like Chris Waters did.
Oh, come on, get away. I'm just a
You have to
tiny gnome
conquer
man.
Yeah,
That's a hate
HMD.
crime.
Here we go. Bam, bam, bam.
Oh, he walked into the trap. You got bear chomped.
Oh, you stepped in my trap, and now I'm the human.
You got
Come on,
cold
little
bear
red
chomped.
guy.
If you have any more questions about Crawl or have the latest score in the Arsenal Bayern Munich game, please feel free to send us tweets or send them in the chat on GameSpot or Twitch.
You are getting it. All right.
Getting what?
So you
Should
can
I go to the store?
You can go to the store and buy something, maybe.
Oh, what?
Aha!
I thought that was a sword in the stone situation.
You got verily smoked.
Oh, nuts.
Wow.
Am I attacking these crystal shards?
This is pretty good. You're getting spit
This is a
roasted
bad
by
situation to be in.
daggers.
Should I go here? What's here? What's this?
What's that?
Oh, let's go this way. Ooh, a corridor.
You're still bleeding. Oh, you are going to die in here. You are going to die in here.
Undoing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a
I know
tiny worm.
exactly. I know this game. Tiny little gnome men. Ah, shit.
I'm dead? Yeah, I'm a ghost again.
Yeah, I'm a ghost.
Yeah, I'm a ghost.
Yamaghost? King Yamaghost?
Almost there.
You
All right,
ever
next
feel
death
like-
and we're done here, folks.
No.
I'm sorry, you got to
You ever
kick you
feel
off
like
my
you've
set.
just been pent up as a brown ghost for too long?
You know what my last name is, right?
Peter Brown
Brown
Ghost. I like it. Sometimes when I have a burrito and I wake up the next morning, I really have this get rid of the brown ghost.
You get real spiritual with your digestive processes, Danny. I really appreciate that.
Oh, that's rich.
Wow, you got so much gold.
Totes
You
gold.
can buy all
right.
kinds of stuff at this store that you're not going to
try
go
and
to
stop me.
because of time reasons.
All right, here's the last
Boom!
room. Last room.
Exciting.
This is now the last room.
Come on, tiny man. Am I gonna be a tiny man? Nope, I'm a bat.
3 bats. All right, we need to keep our distance.
All right, distance, gentlemen.
Why does
Come
he keep
on.
going for
Pelt
me?
him from afar. You know his weakness. Besides tiny man.
donuts?
These blue balls. His weakness is
That's
blue
your
balls.
weakness. Oh,
Throw
no.
your blue balls at him.
Sorry, my God, like my throbbing blue balls.
Assail him with your blue balls.
There we go.
Oh no.
Yes! And that's a wrap. That is Crawl.
Oh,
On Steam
verily hath
powered
been crawled.
.com. Peter Brown, Tom McInnes, thank you very much for coming on.
Bye.
Make yourself useful. Hold
Take
this.
that.
Yeah.
This is for me.
Peter Brown. No, you can't have that. No.
Come on, these are made.
Do not damage.
Make
Awesome.
Make
Dark Soulsness.
Play out the Dark Souls vignette using your action figures. Go.
Hey, I'm a man with
While
a
they're
sword.
doing that, Jared38, Jared38 on Twitter, Jared38, happy birthday.
All right, Jared. Yeah.
Happy 38.
Yeah, and Pita the best.
Yes.
Pita the best. Are yours? Yeah. Oh my God, you can hold on to it.
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh,
is
it's giving
the
him away
best.
to sycophants here. What about Chris is awesome? That Twitter user not going to win anything?
Chris is, well, to find out, keep watching the lobby. We've got 4 more to give away. I'm not sure why I did that. If you want to win those, the GameSpot tweet, we did about 10 past the hour to be able to a chance to win one of those. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on. We're going to be back in a few minutes with Maxwell McBargains, but first, Jeremy Jane, start it again.
You know this is live, right?
Danny's doing
No,
his
it's not live.
he got stuck in mouth aerobics. We've got a video coming up that's there's 2 free new maps for KILLZONE Shadowfall. Jeremy Jane took a look at them and gave us some strategies on how to do good on the maps.
With 2 new maps released this week and a DLC on the way next month, KILLZONE Shadowfall is fighting to keep itself relevant in a soon-to-be post-Titanfall world. Despite a stark drop-off in Killzone's online community, the Hangar and the Cruiser are 2 excellent new maps that could breathe much-needed life into this satisfying multiplayer experience. First up, the Hangar. This multi-tiered open-air killing field caters to mid- and long-range firefights for the most part, but is littered with enough debris to force you into moments of close-range panic. With Killzone's rotating game modes, the tides of battle shift drastically, and while objectives draw both teams toward hotly contested control points, Team Deathmatch leads to more tense, long-range exchanges. Making use of cover is highly recommended. In either case, the Hangar is a map that rewards risk. While pushing up enough to climb to the raised platforms on either side of the map offers a tactical advantage, retaining this position without serious support is a short-lived affair. 2 well-covered walkways on either side allow for deep flanks, but push too hard and you'll be met with a swift end. The middle of the map rewards slow pushes and teamwork, especially in capture and hold, where securing the width of the map while progressing toward your enemy will result in a shutout victory. However, underneath the entire map is a winding series of catwalks that turn the map on its head with deadly corners and cramped, fast-paced combat. And of course, a handful of the map's objectives are nested in this death tunnel. Overall, Hangar is a great map that evokes the more tactical side of Shadowfall nicely. The Cruiser, on the other hand, is a narrow corridor claustrophobia clusterfuck. Set in a labyrinthian VSA ship, this map caters to close and mid-range combat with an emphasis on taking cover and advancing slowly for controlled, coordinated pushes. Get caught up too deep and Killzone's weighty movement will leave you lumbering backwards with a face full of bullets. Nevertheless, the passages woven throughout Cruiser allow for a lot of lateral movement, which mixes up objective-based modes. Whereas most maps leave you moving either toward or away from the enemy base, Cruiser is a mesh of connected hallways where you never know if your next turn will land you face-to-face with a firing squad or in Opportunity's lap. To dominate this map, hug corners, use openings to fire off opportunistic bursts, and pay attention to your surroundings, or you might end up with your head on backwards. Killzone Shadowfall's multiplayer is free through tomorrow, so feel free to try before you buy, PS4 owners. Or just brush up on your skills before Titanfall comes out. It's up to you.
KILLZONE Shadowfall there, some new maps coming out. Have you played much of that since it's come out?
Since it's come out, yes. Recently, no.
Okay.
They do this thing where like your leveling in that game is just how many challenges you've completed, and there's like 1,500 challenges. So I think I'm around like level 3, mid 300s. I played like only the multiplayer though, not any of the single player.
Have you not touched it at all?
No, not at all.
About 3/4 of the way through, I hit a point where I was just kind of a bit done with it. Done. Like a hard part.
Yeah.
But the multiplayer, every couple of weeks I go back. It's one of those. I don't own many games on my PlayStation 4, so when I use my PlayStation 4, I just go, yeah, I'll play some Killzone. So I don't know, maybe check out those maps. Good. Video games like Killzone can be expensive, but thankfully we have a certain individual here in GameSpot.com who knows all about getting sweet deals on cheaper video games. You may know him as Maxwell McGee, but we know him as Maxwell McBargains.
I am Maxwell McBargains, your guide to finding the hottest deals on the hottest games, and apparently I'm making it rain sweet deals here in the studio. Can you? I had no idea this is what the background was going to look like.
Either did we.
This is what they came up with?
Look at that one, it's massive.
It used to be just like giant name tags that said sale written across the front.
Did you print your own currency? Is that what we're
this is
seeing?
Max Coin. You guys want to get in early. I imagine it's going to go like this very quickly. Oh my goodness. But enough about Max Coin. We'll get back to that later. Let's jump to this week's hottest deals. So first up on the docket is Tomb Raider. Now this is the reboot that came out last year, and it is now free on PlayStation Plus. If you folks out there do not have PlayStation Plus, what is wrong with you? It is such a good deal. Now, since this isn't the definitive edition, you don't get all the fancy face work, but enough about that. Next up is Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition, which is also free through PlayStation Plus for PlayStation 4. Now, since it's the Apocalypse Edition, it also comes with the Road to Devastation DLC pack. And you can play cooperatively with your buddies and shoot people with flamethrowers, so it's totally awesome.
That game is really good.
Next up, and third on the docket, is Dead Space 2, which if you don't have PlayStation Plus, don't worry about it because it's available on Steam for $6.79 this week only. Now, you folks out there are going to remember Dead Space 2 came out back in the time when Dead Space games were all about being fun survival horror games and not buddy-buddy co-op shooter games. So definitely recommend that one. But that's all I've got on the deals docket this week, folks. Bargains out.
Thank you very much, Maxwell McBargains. I haven't seen that either. That was pretty great. We should do that every week.
Oh man, yeah, that is out. That is excellent. And Max Coin, I don't know though.
No, I'm more of
Coin futures.
I'm more of a Dogecoin maybe.
Yeah.
Or a Kanye West.
Something that's proven its ability in the marketplace to perform.
Yeah, new currency. It's all about having. Oh, I really want MaxCoin.
Yeah.
All right. Get in on MaxCoin early. You can go to maxcoin.com right now and purchase some of that. But for the moment, we'll be back soon with new releases and Justin Haywell with some news. But first of all, we have a little feature on South Park and the Stick of Truth. Apparently, that game is pretty disgusting. Let's check out some of its most disgusting moments.
Gross.
Imagine you're chewing bubblegum with your butthole.
Let it remember. Dragon time. Woo-hoo! Step forward now and fulfill your duty.
Oh, hello, Mongolian. Clyde, it's past your bedtime.
Hey, honey, Dad. Yay, the bishop falls.
It's me, Al Gore. You found me. Hi, Tom.
And fulfill your duty.
See that? This part's over there somewhere.
Shut up. Who the are you?
Yep, that's good. You sons of bitches!
Hey. Heavy bound. That's it.
Dr. T. Could you roll up your pants? Or, you know what, just take the pants off, too.
Nagasaki!
At least we don't have to deal with traffic.
Step forward now and fulfill your destiny.
Hey, did you guys hear that? Sounded like a chipmunk.
My favorite part about South Park is that Rob Handlery, who's been editing the video review and all these features for it, he's just been sitting in the corner with his headphones on, and every couple of seconds you just hear him like completely lose his marbles laughing. I want to play
cackle with delight and then say, "Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so bad." And then everyone flocks over there, and he unplugs in his headphones, and it is so bad.
Yeah, like it's a pair of testicles flying through while weird magic pants gnomes fight each other. We gave away a bunch of copies of South Park on a previous episode of The Lobby, but today we're giving away copies of The Dark Souls, shown here by me and by Chris Waters. Look at those on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. If you want to win a copy of those, all you have to do is retweet a tweet that GameSpot out earlier. If you check us out on Twitter, you also have to make sure you're following us as well to be able a chance to win one of those bad boys. I want to name the 5th and 6th. Yeah, that's right. Just rain it. Just make it rain.
They're in metal boxes.
Make it rain
it's fine.
for video
it's
games.
Fine.
Take that, Maxwell McBargains. Winner number 5, Paper Cam. Nice work, Paper Cam. Hopefully that's not Cam Robinson, because then a large percentage of these games have gone to GameSpot employees.
Not strictly legal.
And my favorite winner so far, number 6, is Video Oblivion. He has combined the words Oblivion and video to create Video Oblivion.
Yeah, I see that.
That's a stage name.
Good one.
Speaking of Oblivion, I believe we have a long history of fire alarms going off during GameSpot live streams. It happened to Greg Kasavin when he was doing his 12-hour Oblivion live stream back in the day, and it also happened last year as well.
Yeah, during the Extra Life marathon, we were doing the 24-hour thing for charity, and I think it busted up our Spelunky run.
How dare you? The only thing that can stop Spelunky and its power in the GameSpot office is fire.
Literally having to evacuate onto the alley, where we proceeded to play Spelunky and have like the most glorious beating Olmec. It was so good. I was the only one alive left, and I bombed this like huge pit, and I couldn't jump across it, but the other 2 guys were ghosts, and so I jumped, and they blew me, and then I flew further, and then I won. It was so good.
Spelunky, GameSpot's Tom McShay wishes Game of the Year 2013.
And 14 and
probably
15.
And 15 and everything else.
So good.
Speaking of video games that come out during times of the year, did you know there are video games coming out this very week, Chris Waters?
Wait a minute. This week?
I know, it's ridiculous.
I don't believe you, Dan. Yes, I do.
Mary Kish, new releases, I hear.
Hey, guys.
What's going on?
Chris, good to see you again.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Did
Thanks.
you enjoy your Splunky break? That's what I assume you did.
Hey, I play other video games.
Played more Splunky. I've never seen any evidence of this.
Did you see, he got that tattoo on his butt. Spelunky.
Danny.
It's real good.
God.
He's spelunking. He's spelunking.
Which character is it?
How did you find my Tumblr?
It's the regular Spelunky character, but he's
How dare you?
He's finding a shortcut, shall we say.
It's the guy with
I'd
the
like
turban.
to think it's the guy damsel in distress.
Yes, that's perfect.
The term is hunky man. Thank you.
I didn't know he had an official name. What did you name him, Chris?
I believe it was Sean McInnes coined the term hunky man.
Love of your life.
Obviously.
Hunky man.
Tell us about some new video games.
There's so many new releases. And we're playing them today.
That's true.
Including Titanfall, coming out on Windows and Xbox One today.
When's it coming out on Xbox 360, Mary?
Because they just want you to buy those sweet, sweet consoles.
Nailed it.
And I expect you to get one, to play one. Well, most people probably want to play it on PC anyway. Depends on which master race you choose.
Yeah, so Origin's super popular, so everyone's got to be going over there to play it.
That's true. But if you guys don't have a copy yet, you could probably win one, because we're giving a few away later on.
Indeed.
So you might want to come back. But now you can win Dark Souls 2, which is coming out on PS3 and Xbox 360. So you don't have to get a new console for this. You can just play it now. They don't care. They don't care what it looks like. It doesn't matter, because it's just about all the sweet, sweet death that happens to you.
Oh, it was that thing that just ate Kevin on the stream.
It's true. And there's a lot of other things that'll murder you on
like
on
that
this
evil
game.
mummy.
I've been playing it for the last few days. I can't put it down. It's amazing. I recommend everybody pick this one up.
What's your favorite thing to get murdered by?
My favorite thing is Diablo.
Everything's murdered me so far, and it's really frustrating because I don't want to pick a favorite. These are surprises. This is TowerFall Ascension. A lot of people didn't know this is coming out. 4-player. This is kind of like arrows shooting out everywhere. It's really good, especially, if you're a fan of arrow death. If you really like Marana, you're gonna probably want to get this.
Is this game Samurai Gun?
There's a lot of these style games coming out, but this is pure arrowage, so you're gonna want that. Like, who doesn't want just straight up peripheral?
I type arrowage into all my favorite video game search engines.
Yeah, I made that word up specifically for this. And then finally, a disgusting amount of cute. This is Yoshi's Island. You can eat a watermelon and then you can like spit the seeds out as projectiles. It's adorable.
On this week's new releases, you sang a song
Friday.
for Yoshi's Island.
I did sing.
Could you give us a nice version of it now?
It's so cute. It's like Yoshi's Island, it's so damn cute.
I did not expect you to do that.
Rainbows because it's so cute.
Yay!
Yes,
Thank you very much, Mary.
Yes, and surprise, Hearthstone came out of beta today, actually just like an hour ago.
Hot off the presses.
Yes, hot off the presses. A lot of people were like, oh, how do you pronounce it? It's kind of like you live on the planet Earth, so it's Hearthstone. So just so you like want to remember that.
Is that how you remember it?
Yeah, that's how I keep it.
That's
like,
a pretty good trick.
Third planet from the sun.
Yeah,
Hearth.
it's good.
It's like me
Solid.
and Marin County. Marin, not Marin.
Nobody
right?
knows how to pronounce anything around
Marin.
here. It's like when you
Marin.
say that we're from San Fran, people punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird when you have to like, you can't just read something and know instantly how it's pronounced, you have to actually learn things in your life?
It's the worst.
I don't
You
care
should
for
move
that.
it to a different continent, Chris Waters. Store. Pants. Unbelievable.
You're just talking about entirely different words, not
Okay.
pronunciation.
It's
All right,
similar
I'm
or
out of here,
different?
waiters. I'm out of here.
All right, see you, Mary. Sorry for
Sure.
taking your time.
Bye-bye.
It's sunny outside.
Peace out, quiche.
Go play some video games outside. Portable video games. GameSpot.com's got a bunch of original programming, and we usually show that off every week. But we've also got a bunch of live shows, like that are actually broadcast on the internet. Like
Every day, almost every day.
Like this one right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to check out some highlights from a variety of live shows that you can watch on GameSpot.com.
Woohoo!
So yeah, you want to see some Titanfall stuff? Look at
Yeah.
that.
Oh, we're playing
You get out
Titanfall.
of your dude and you boo 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 boo.
And not that many people know about this game. Oh man, I'm just getting rocked.
Welcome to House of Horrors. I'm Zareen. I'm Jess. Oh my god!
Wild Stallions ride together!
I was wondering if I could offer my services to you as a teammate.
Oh no!
Why do I...
Pin it on the ass.
Grab that ass.
Hey man, you're my friend. You're my friend, I can mount you.
House of Horrors on Monday. Apparently they're playing Insanidade. I don't know, man. Tuesday we've got The Lobby. No idea what the hell that is. And multiple players. A game with multiple players and yelling.
That's true.
I guess
That's
you
my
haven't-
show. I can confirm there's multiple players and yelling every single time.
The Sean Method this week with Sean McGinnis. Open season on Open Worlds. Random encounter this week. Apparently this week we're playing a new random game every week.
Just this week.
Yeah,
and every week.
Megabit is Neo XYX. Redux Dark. Did he make that game up? So I'd
Actually,
have
the
to
name
say
of a
it?
game, unlike
Really?
most other things on this list.
Unbelievable.
That's Peter Brown delving into he's a bit of a collector, and so
Yeah.
like his retro games, he delves into those for Megabit.
Cool, and technically House of Horrors is on Sunday unless you live in Australia. There you go. Hey, Justin Haywald.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Just magically appeared here.
You're like the pants gnome of GameSpot.com.
And I also live in the couch.
Yeah.
And just pop out.
Justin Haywald is here. We're going to do some news. I hear you've got a bunch of news that came out yesterday and news that came out today.
Well, yeah, Mary talking about all the upcoming games. I'm here to talk about some games that are not going to be upcoming, at least in the near future. So some news that broke today. The Witcher 3 is getting a slight delay. I know a lot of us have been really excited to play Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt.
Yes.
And it was supposed to come out this fall. And it's been pushed a little bit, and which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's going to be coming out February 2015. And, you know, a delay like this, which is kind of later in the cycle, but with a pretty good tail behind it, can just mean that they're polishing it. I mean, it's not an indictment that the game is going to be bad or that there's a serious problem with it. And this could really be just an issue where they're going to polish it. They're going to make the game better, and it's just part of the schedule where they knew they weren't going to hit that date for it to come out in the fall.
Probably just got to like put a few more graphics in it, right?
Probably some more sex.
More graphics.
Oh yeah, definitely sex graphics.
Because there was a lot of sex.
Graphic sex.
Yeah.
There was
Witcher.
November slippage is not uncommon, but it sort of tends to happen closer to the time slippage like that.
And also games companies thinking about other games that are coming out around that time sometimes like to get out of the way of some of the big titles coming out. And this November is probably going to be pretty crowded with PS4 and Xbox One titles. I can see wanting to maybe get a little breathing room.
Yeah.
And February and March feel like the new November for us.
And it used to be that January was one, because I remember was it Burnout Paradise came out in 2008 maybe, and there was nothing out for like 5 weeks. So when it came out, everyone was playing it, and the same thing happened with Dead Space the following year. So you could see what happened when Titanfall.
But now
was
it's obviously
out.
fair game. I mean, Titanfall and Dark Souls 2 today, March, two of the most anticipated games of the entire year.
But not all delays are good news. Drive Club, which was supposed to be a PlayStation 4 launch title, has gone back to the drawing board, which is not something you ever want to hear in video games.
Was that their words?
Yeah.
That is their exact words.
Oh, back to the drawing board.
and especially for a game that was supposed to be a launch title, it was going to come out sometime in spring. I mean, so this is basically last minute. Like they're out of time to say anything else that's happening with the game. And instead of delaying it, there was no comment on whether it's going to come out in 2015.
Yeah.
It's back to the drawing board, which essentially means that whatever they were working on has been destroyed. Like they've canceled it. Probably some key team members have left, is what my best guess would be. I don't have any inside knowledge. And it's just going to be a completely different game if it happens at this point at all.
So following in the tradition of first-party Sony racing games, this will come out years after it's supposed to, or initially come out. This is kind of funny because in a way when this was coming out, when our first announced, people were talking about how, you know, I guess Gran Turismo, they sort of, maybe Sony are falling out of favor with the guys at Polyphony or whatnot. Are you at all surprised that this has happened, considering what little they've showed of the game seems to be previs and not actually gameplay?
It was surprising that we saw so much of this game at E3 leading up to it. Like, this was a game that I felt was going to come out, but it was way too crowded, especially in the launch lineup of Need for Speed, Forza, Gran Turismo is something that a lot of people associate with Sony.
Yeah.
And then introducing this new franchise that we don't know a lot about. The cars look really good, and everything that I've seen like looks nice, but it's not a game I think that is on a lot of people's radars compared to Forza and Need for Speed and Gran Turismo.
And perhaps even The Witcher and other games as well, you know what I mean?
I think that it's interesting that they say going back to the drawing board, that they're that candid in the press release, because a lot of the times they'll, like, I don't know, like delayed in debt. Like, I feel like they don't always so heavily imply, like, we need to make a different game.
What does going back to the drawing board in a racing game mean, though? I mean, we need to reinvent racing.
We're going to go with triangular wheels.
I think it
These
could work.
circle wheels just aren't working at all.
I don't know. Poor Drive Club and poor Witcher 3. Hopefully at E3 we'll have a bunch more new games getting announced that'll fill the gap in our lives that those games have now left. Justin Haywell, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me on.
We're going to be back in a second with Jeff Gerstmann from GiantBomb.com to talk with Chris Waters about Titanfall. But first of all, we've got a trailer for Ho-Ho-Come, a game that has also taken its goddamn time coming out. Actually, first of all, I believe we have just, right now, given away these bad boys, gentlemen.
Oh, really?
Hold on to them for me.
Nice.
Let's give a nice shot of those boxes.
Dustin's going to hold them both. He's being very covetous. Oh, thank you. You shared.
Perfect. So, the final two winners of the Collector's Editions versions, Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1 is the final score. God damn it. Collector's Edition winner number 1, Tim Ranosaurus. Tim Ranosaurus. They're definitely picking these names just to mess with me.
They're just picking the best names.
And picked totally random again, apparently, Cindy says in the document I'm reading. Legit Punisher. So all you fake Punishers, you watch out. This guy's legit. Thank you very much, everyone, for entering that competition. We will have another competition, which we'll talk about pretty soon.
This has an authentic cloth map in it.
Yeah.
You didn't tell.
Cloth
Danny.
map. Yeah, so
It's got a cloth map in it.
You can wipe away the sweat as you play that game because it's so ridiculously great. We're going to be giving away copies of Titanfall on a stream later on today. Chris Waters will tell you about that later on. We're going to check out Ho-Ho-Come, and we're back right after that with Titanfall.
PlayStation.
Greatness awaits, baby. You know it's not coming out on a Sony platform though. It's Titanfall, and we've got Jeff Gerstmann from thegiantbomb.com.
Hello.
You reviewed this video game, I believe, for that publication.
Well, yeah, sort of. Yeah, in the works on it. I've written most of what I'm going to write about it, and then kind of keeping an eye on it today to see how the servers do before I kind of throw a score on it.
Awesome. And Chris Waters reviewed it for GameSpot.com.
Sure did.
You guys been playing a hell bunch of
cut corners, not me.
That's right. Yeah. No, I put a score on it. Done. Review out of the way.
He trusts it. Let's hope those servers stay up, right?
Yeah.
Servers, how have they been today?
They're stayed up. They're good. I'm gonna get in the match right now, guys. Come on.
We did a live quick look a little bit earlier today, and basically got dropped out of 3 or 4 Xbox matches.
I had a couple over the weekend that kind of dropped out, but I guess it was
pre-release. Like the servers were a little shaky until last night. Then they were shaky proper, and then I don't know. Like there was something on Twitter where the engineer for Respawn was saying like, "We're having beers," and it was like 11 o'clock. I'm like, "All right, I guess things are going well," but it seems like it's been mostly okay.
Yeah. So people's fears can be alleviated, at least for now. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, you know, we got about another 3 hours until like prime time,
right?
U.S. time. About 6 p.m. here, I figure we'll know one way or the other how it's going to go.
Stinking Europeans come on Friday.
I know. Well, yeah, I don't know what Europe. What is that?
Got out of there.
Of course, also Major Nelson was just on Twitter saying like, there are some people having trouble logging into Xbox Live.
Right.
We're working on it. And then also, this is not Titanfall related.
Okay,
Please don't blame please buy the game. Please buy the game.
You will be able to play it soon, we promise.
At this point, I've gotten more press releases from Microsoft than from EA when it comes to Titanfall.
Oh, really?
And Microsoft did not publish that game. It's insane.
Huh. I guess they've
how
got a lot
behind
riding
that
on it.
game they are.
Do you think it'll sell, before we get into the game, do you think it'll actually sell units of the consoles, you guys?
No.
I mean, if I was on the fence about it, yes, I think it will sell Xbox Ones just because like it's a game to be excited about. It's a game that's getting a huge amount of critical acclaim. It's also a game in one of the more popular genres out there.
Yeah, I think yes, you are right about all of that, but also I feel like it's a genre that is like has been on the decline lately, and you could take that as like, well, people are looking for something new, and this will drive them to it. But I think people are now a little bit suspect of first-person shooters, especially one that is like by and large very Call of Duty inspired.
Yeah. So the phrase that gets thrown out around a lot is Call of Duty with mechs. Do you think there is a nugget of truth in that, or?
Sure, yeah, but except it's Call of Duty with mechs, and then also like Mirror's Edge light free running, wall running, double jumps. That actually I think is a much bigger deal than the robots.
Yeah,
the movement, the mobility, and stuff like that, because it really changes the pace of the game, the range of the shooting. Can you get it close to somebody? Is it happening at medium range? All that sort of stuff, because you can get up in people's faces really, really easily. But guys still go down when you shoot them very quickly.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting balance.
We're going to hop into the campaign multiplayer, as it's called, which we've shown off a lot of the multiplayer, obviously, in the beta previously a couple of weeks ago, and now since the game is out, it's kind of easier to access these servers because there's more people playing. Chris, can you just give me?
There you go. That was what you get for cutscenes in Titanfall.
Is that it?
That's it.
Great. That's what my 50
and
gigs
then this
is.
right here, that Titan getting gunned down is
that's pretty scripted.
That's a scripted thing.
Boom.
So there's something like that before each of the
Usually
story
it's not
missions?
that much. Usually it's this guy in the upper right corner saying like, "We're on a mission to do something. You keep shooting guys while we do the cool stuff."
So you play, is it 9 missions with one side then 9 with the other or something?
The same 9 missions, but from both sides.
And is there any sort of resolution at the end, or?
They set a stage for a sequel. That's interesting.
Best character of 2014, Titanfall man.
Yeah.
Chris.
Hello.
That gun seems to have auto aim on it.
Oh, so this is like Jeff was saying that the stuff people say about this game's similarity to Call of Duty is very spot on in terms of like almost all of the weapons just fill those standard niches of assault rifle, SMG, shotgun, and there's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's just enough to like cover every niche. But this one, the Smart Pistol, is kind of the one that's different.
And you've got the Amp Smart Pistol, which is on a burn card. So it's actually, this gun's kind of crazy.
Okay.
When you get the Amped version, because
normally to kill a pilot, which is a human player, you have to wait until this thing locks on 3 times. But with the Amp version, it just locks on twice and does it quite quickly. and then you pull the trigger once, it fires 2 bullets into their head, and they're dead.
I feel like the burn cards were almost like in Call of Duty. You tend to get a lot of weapon unlocks constantly. They're just feeding you weapons and whatnot. Whereas I found like when you complete the challenges in this, I felt like I was getting more burn cards than anything else, to the point where I was kind of sitting on what felt like about 20 or 30 of them.
As long as you're playing well, you will always have enough burn cards. It's one of those things where like I had a run of bad matches last night and woke up this morning and had like 3.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, geez. Because you'll get them for successfully evacuating, or you get them for winning a match, you'll get them for killing pilots and stuff like that. So if you're not playing particularly well, you will burn through your burn cards.
You will burn through your burn cards. I like it. If you've got any questions for Chris and Jeff about Titanfall, please send them in the GameSpot chat or the Twitch chat, or tweet us at GameSpot. So 15 maps in this game. The single player seems like it's pretty light on content. Jeff, how do you feel about this game as a full price product? Because I know some people have been being a bit.
Well, I look at it 2 ways. If you take the bullet points and add it all up, I think it's light compared to something like Call of Duty.
I mean, there's no
there's no proper campaign. There's no co-op. It's like Call of Duty, for better, whether you like it or not, it's 3 games in one in a lot of ways. 3 games that are of a varying quality and all that sort of stuff, but still 3 games in one. When I look at how I actually play Call of Duty, I only play the things that are in Titanfall.
Okay.
Team deathmatch, domination, the multiplayer, stuff like that. I play all of it a little bit because I'm reviewing the game. I'm playing through the campaign. But when it comes down to it, the stuff I actually want to play, that's the stuff that they've focused on. It's almost as if they had access to a bunch of data about how people play Call of Duty and then just made that.
But who would have that data?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Activision, I guess. Like who could really?
Who knows?
But EA in some ways did itself a disservice by putting out that Plants vs. Zombies game a couple weeks ago. Because that is a game that, when you look at, it is also thin on content, but it at least has a horde mode, something that's a little bit different, and it's $40.
Yeah. So do you think that that's where they're going to apply the DLC modes rather than maps, or?
I think they've already come out and said they're doing maps. I think.
Okay.
So and I think you have to do maps, but I would like to see them do modes. But I think the problem is the modes they have are damn near identical to modes that have been in Call of Duty and stuff like that.
And every shooter.
And every shooter. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, capture the flag.
I don't want to play CTF in a game ever again. Ever again. Unless that someone comes back and says like, hey, we got 3-wave and we're actually doing it right. We're doing a follow to that. Give me a grappling hook. Give me the stuff that a CTF should actually have. And for them to have like 5 modes and then 2 of them be basically identical, they have attrition here and Pilot Hunter, and the only difference is kind of the scoring.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. No matter how you look at it. At the end of the day, it's like, this is the stuff that I would play when I play Call of Duty, but it's still hard to look at it and go like, well, I mean, they're not really doing that much new from a modes perspective and that sort of thing. Like, they've made a fascinating twist on a Call of Duty style first-person shooter, and I really enjoy it. Like all this wall running stuff, all the mobility, getting on the backs of the Titans, like the crazy business you can get up to is super fun, but it's all kind of thin.
Chris, you are more of a fan of Battlefield than the Call of Duty series when it comes to first-person shooters. You really enjoyed this game, you've given it a 9.0 on GameSpot. Is this the sort of game you think you're going to keep playing post-review, or are you kind of burnt out on it at the moment?
Ask me once I've done a day of 3 long live streams for GameSpot.
Oh yeah, of course.
No, I think this is the kind of game that I see myself playing a bunch in the future, and really it's down to the way that mobility makes it feel so different. Like, yes, this is, the way that you, a lot of it is very similar to sort of like the sprint speed, the weapons, the grenades. So many of these elements are that familiar stuff, and I mentioned that in the review. But mobility is such a baseline foundation for how you play a game and how these things work that, to me, it makes it a whole different game, a whole different experience.
And they've made it very easy to control, like the wall running, the double jumps and stuff like that. Like, you don't need a whole lot of time to get that stuff down and start doing some really creative things with it.
It felt like in the first 15-20 minutes, it was sort of, my eyes were open to how it worked, and then when I got the full game, some of the maps actually have these sort of ridiculously obvious walls that are often like, come on,
this is the spot. You want to wall run from here to here. Yeah, for sure. And it creates a situation where like this game is full of like it's great that this is on a console that has like that whole game DVR thing, like the Xbox stuff, because this game, when you are playing it well, the whole thing looks like one big highlight reel.
Yeah.
Like you're just jumping through windows and kicking people in the face and jumping out of the window and shooting 3 guys and jumping over here, making a robot fall out of the sky. Like those sequences are pretty amazing.
And you've been playing the game for
I've put in like 20, 25 hours now between the review and then kind of checking the review against the real retail version. Like I'm level 44 on retail right now on Xbox. So at this point, like I'm really close to 50. I'll probably hit the cap at some point.
Yeah, 50 is the cap, and then you like there's like a prestige thing where it's like, hey, I could unlock all that stuff again.
Yeah, and I might do that. There's an achievement for it, so why not?
What's your achievement score right now?
I kind of lost track. It's 152,000, 151,000, somewhere around there. But at this point, I've played a whole lot of Titanfall in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
I will have to play a little bit more to, kind of finish off the review stuff, and then I'll mess with the 360 version when that comes in a couple of weeks. But
we had a question just roll across the screen there, like almost like some sort of ninja. I barely saw it. Is there free for all? A question from Chris MC 4417 in Twitch.
Nope.
Would this game be awful with a free-for-all mode?
Yeah, I mean, free-for-all modes in Call of Duty I thought were a little weird too.
Just for farming XP, I always felt.
Yeah, that's really why that stuff was in there. I don't think it really needs it.
Because then also, like, there's another thing, the whole grunt thing, like, how would that work in free-for-all? Grunts are these AI soldiers that spawn onto the battlefield.
You just make them everyone's enemy.
Yeah, like Unreal Tournament. And Morpheus, just spawn 64 bots in there and get your rocket launcher. So you have been playing the game for quite a while, Jeff. You sort of saying that maybe you might take some time off of it, but in terms of that, like, those bombastic moments, that highlight reel stuff, is that kind of, does it still ring true once you've played it for that long? Like,
there are definitely, I mean, there were moments last night, kind of playing it as the servers were starting to slowly crumble. And yeah, just definitely getting up to shenanigans. And it's one of those things where once you have really spent some time with the wall running and really spent some time getting around the maps and learning them, like, you can do some crazy stuff. Just like wall run to jump around the corner of a building to keep wall running, jump up to the top. You know, like the ways you can get around it's really impressive. This incidentally is actually my least favorite map.
Really?
Yeah.
I played this on Sunday night and managed to stay alive for 3 Titanfalls on the roof, and then the server dropped, and I almost put my Xbox One controller through the television.
Yeah.
I was infuriated.
It's a little too, there's a little too much inside stuff. The outside areas I think are too small.
They're really, but at the same time, you have like the rooftops, you have these huge long sight lines that are kind of uninterrupted.
I mostly mean for Titans.
Yeah,
You know, this is a good map for just like auto Titan, just drop it and let it do whatever it's going to do, and I'm busy inside capturing points or doing real stuff.
I found it hard to find people in this one, actually. Are there any maps that are sort of surfacing as the favorites, like Dust 2 style?
It's tough because, I mean, there's no way to,
you can't
select
pick, you can't
maps,
vote.
and there's no private, there's no custom matches yet.
Yeah.
They've talked about patching that in for free, but that's not an option, so it's kind of hard to see.
I feel like I'm, maybe I'm just making this up. Maybe you can actually, because you've played a lot of it too. But it's Lagoon, right? The map with the water. How many times have you seen that since you started
I don't think
playing?
I saw that the entire review event. I saw it for the first time yesterday on a live stream.
So I saw that map once during the event, and I think it's come up twice since I started playing it.
Yeah, what is
I
the deal?
wonder, like that map with the water and stuff. The frame rate can get pretty nasty there. I wonder if it's like weighted lower than the other maps.
I don't, and also it's got this weird like. There are 3 areas, but the corners between them are narrow, and it just seems like not a great mix of that pilot Titan space.
Yeah.
Because I think that the best maps in this game, and the best part about the game, is the way that pilot combat and Titan combat kind of intertwine. Like, you're in a Titan, you can't disregard enemy pilots. You're a pilot, you can take pot shots at Titan and be a huge threat to them. Like, it's the way those systems combine that make it so vibrant, and I think the maps that do that well are definitely the ones that are the best.
They do really well with just the balance on that pilot Titan interaction. You know, like the Titans are not invincible. They're kind of fragile if you're lazy about keeping them alive.
If you bring them into the middle of a war zone, you're pretty much
they just
boned.
immediately get blown up. So it's really fun to just get on a rooftop with the mag launcher, which launches like magnetic grenades that
I haven't got that.
attract to the Titans, and just and let them have it that way. And it does substantial damage. Like it's. That's more fun for me than actually piloting the Titans themselves.
It's funny, I have not seen Angel City once. since I started playing.
Really, it came. I feel like it's come up a ton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it came up during our live stream earlier.
And the Lagoon one I've only seen once as well, and that is where I've seen some frame rate stuff. I've also seen it if you like shoot glass panes really close. Have either of you guys seen that happen?
Yeah, for me, like the big moment I had was, oh man, I can't remember the name of the map, but it's an indoor area in the middle, and we were playing last Titan standing. So everyone spawns in a Titan. They have to keep their Titans alive. First team to run out of Titans loses the round. Everyone took their Titans and basically crammed them into this small room and started pulling every trigger they could.
And they're like rockets, grenades, punches, fire,
there's
effects,
just explosions everywhere.
Effects,
everything's
all
happening all over the place.
Yeah.
And at that point, the Xbox it was almost like it just crumbled, and it was like there was a good second or two where it was just like, here's a frame, here's another frame. Here, have one more frame for the road.
Do you remember when you play old first-person shooters, and when that happened, it was like the best. It was like you're melting my computer.
Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
You know, you thought like, oh, they had to slow it down to make it look so awesome. It's like, no, that's not how this happened.
That sounds like it's within the realms of you wouldn't really complain that much about that if it's happening in those situations. Right?
Yeah, I think for me it's that the frame rate's kind of uneven throughout. You know, like the moments where it chugs like that, few and far between. It's more the kind of the overall there's some tearing and the frame rate's not outstanding. But it's one of those things where they're out there, the engineering side of Respawn's out there saying like, hey, we're still working on this.
Yeah.
So
and may actually change the resolution as well. Who knows?
If they can't get the frame rate up, work on that first. Don't raise the resolution. Lower it, man.
And at the same, for me, the frame rate stuff has never, aside from the sort of the anomalous moments of that big sluggish stuff, it doesn't really, as I'm moving through the level, as I'm trying to take aim at piles, I never feel like I'm hindered by that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not sort of, another screen between me and the action that I'm trying to get involved in, which is great. But I mean, has that frame rate stuff been stuff that you've noticed since we're yesterday and today? Yeah.
No, I mean,
I'm sure people have been
had
watching
a hitch up
streams.
a couple of times.
Yeah.
Not nothing as bad as happened during that event, but definitely some moments where I'm like, ooh, geez.
All right, that's Titanfall 9.0 on GameSpot.com, GiantBomb.com.
Probably a 4 out of 5.
Probably a 4 out of 5?
Unless the servers are on fire forever.
Cool.
And then it's like a 0 out of 5 because it's not a game.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's the lobby for this week. Thanks very much, Jeff, for coming on and chatting to us. We'll get you back on sometime soon when there's another video game. You guys don't do reviews anymore. Here's Alex Navarro. Can we just get Alex Navarro out all the time?
Yeah, just Skype him in.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he'd love to do it. He would have to get dressed for that, so maybe not.
Okay.
He's usually pretty nude.
Yeah, we need some trousers for
You
that.
guys got to pay him extra for that.
To wear clothes?
The appearance fee.
Yeah.
Putting on clothes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Next week on the show,
I gotta get that in my contract.
we're going to have Peter Molyneux, hopefully wearing his trousers. We have a special GDC show on. Nathan Vela is going to be in as well. And who knows who else, because we don't know, because we haven't booked anyone else yet. So make sure you tune into that on Tuesday at 2 p.m. next week on the lobby. Stick around after the credits. We're going to show our Dark Souls 2 review and Cameron Robinson talking some science mess about Titanfall. Thank you very much for hanging out this
And then
week,
come back at
folks.
4 o'clock because we're giving away Titanfall stuff on a Titanfall live stream. As if you hadn't had enough Titanfall already, we're getting some pro gamers in here to talk about it, and we're giving away 10 copies of the game. Which, come on, that's what you're really gonna get.
Back. You're out of
It's
focus.
useful that you're giving copies away because no one else would watch it because they're trying to play it.
Yeah.
So you have the 10 copies for the
really
people that
going
are
for that
still on the fence.
Don't own Titanfall audience.
Yeah.
We're gonna get them all.
I mean, I would
give
play the
them
PC
games.
version, but I'm too busy mining max coins. So
It's a great prize, but it's also it's an invitation to buy an Xbox One. It's like, here's an Xbox One copy of the game. Now spend $500.
is that why they're actually giving? Well, I mean, now they're giving away
know.
copies
We'll
of the game for free when you buy an Xbox. So you're actually kind of giving away nothing.
I'm just still talking.
Congratulations.
Come get nothing for free.
I'm just still talking because it's making Warren do the slowest crawl ever on the jib. So we're just going to keep going.
Only got a few more inches before
I'll sit here and look at you like
light.
this.
All right, perfect.
Yes.
See you next week on the lobby, everyone.
Ooh.